So for my first project, I want to make a compass. So the compass would be like a scribe tool I can use in the shop. Now the only thing is, all the scribe tools / compasses are meant for small pencils, like this. Where I want one to hold a carpenter's pencil, which is flat. So I went on Blender, CAD, and designed this little mount. And with that, it shall hold the pencil perfectly. And now this will get mounted onto the actual scribe itself, which I got some wood here, which is already pre-milled and worked down. For this, I'm only going to be using hand tools. So hand saws, chisels, and just marking tools, and potentially a drill. We'll contemplate this. Maybe. I never used one. So first, let's cut down our stock. Now, should have a perfectly flat top. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than what I've done in the past. So I'll take it. Alright, so I think I'm gonna do the edges, bring it down a bit. So it's gonna put it on an angle, but instead of using a saw, I'm gonna use a hand plane to try to get it down on a slope. And hopefully this will work pretty smoothly. Oh, that's a lot better. Let's do the other side. I'm trying to push and then lift just before it hits its back end to take out that hump. And it looked like it had just worked. Okay, so that's our profile of the point. There's gonna be a little bit more of an aggressive point there. But what I think I might start the cut first to shave off without messing that up more. Because once I cut down to that point, or shave down to that point, which I can always do with a chisel, I won't be able to get a precise cut. So now this piece has to go on here. so now the fun part. We gotta cut down the middle here. So now we have to cut off one of each side to make it 2 pieces. Alright, so now we're just going to chisel down here and make this bottom part flat. Alright, so we did the sanding. We got all the pieces. Next will be to finish it. I want to print a little spacer. So since the sanding and the cutting, there was a bit of a gap here. So to keep it all perfectly straight, I'm going to 3D print a little washer. Actually, maybe I don't have to. Maybe I could just use one of these. Looks pretty good. And then I gotta epoxy this guy on. Yeah, no, I gotta print one. And then it should be finished. I'll get some finisher for it and then we'll add that on too afterwards. But I think that's all I'm gonna get done today. Let's finish this. So it's done. Now it's time to reflect. Kind of see what I would have done differently, what I liked, what I did. First of all, I'm happy that it's done. I'm excited to use this tool in the future. In general, I think it was a great choice of a thing to make because of how useful it's going to be. Like the mixed material usage, I'm glad I 3D printed this. It turned out pretty well, actually, a little more sleek. I like the wood choice. I like everything else about it. I messed up down here when I was shaving with the plane. I took a couple shavings too much and it took the end off, which was fine. It just goes to the 3D print anyways, but it was supposed to be square. The top, the round part here, I could have shaved down a bit more here and on this side so it looks more like a circle instead of a D shape. I wanted this to be a wing nut. I'm still probably gonna do that. I just have to find one. I wasn't able to find one that I have, so I'll have to order one or something like that, but that's still doable. These notches I cut, so I cut them, in my mind, I just kept on thinking, I was like, oh, like, some reason I'm gonna need all this space for this pivot point, which I did not. Like, not the worst, it still doesn't look bad. I like how it looks, but it's just something that I probably wouldn't have done. I guess sanding it a bit more after I stained it would have been another thing I probably would have done. Functionality, excellent. Looks, I partially like the looks. I love it'll have like a traditional wood style with modern 3D printing parts, incorporating new features for old tools like carpenter's pencils. Love that. Don't like some like the finished stuff, so that's on me to work on and get better at. Take my time more with sanding and stuff and being more careful with cuts. And I think it's going to be a great addition to some other tools. I do think that it could use another clear coat and the wing nut and some better sanding. But besides that, I think I did a pretty decent job. I'm happy with it. I'm impressed with it. I'd feel pretty proud for having it. So I think that's a good sign. If you're proud of your tools, you're excited to show them off, then I think that's a good tool. Well, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think.